If you thought that the X1 was great, well, so is the X2.
This is the BMW X2 M Sport, which is frankly pretty similar to the X1 M Sport, with the only notable differences being some aesthetic changes and the boot space. Underneath, they're identical, which means it's the same great car like the X1, but perhaps just slightly better in some ways. To not sound repetitive in this review, I will simply refer to both cars as X1 and X2, but you know I'm only referring to the M Sport variant. So allow me to share with you the things about the BMW X2 M Sport that stood out to me the most.
For starters, the X1 has the signature BMW grills, while the X2 has these triangle shapes. Now, I personally prefer the signature grills, but if you prefer not to stand out too much, these triangles will probably work better for you. Where the X1 has a relatively flat bonnet, the X2 has a dip in the middle where it houses the BMW badge, and I think it looks really cool. The rear also has an aerodynamic upgrade with its sloped roofline as compared to the boxy design of the X1. So if you prefer a sportier design, you will probably lean more towards the X2. In order to open the automatic tailgate, you would have to flip this BMW badge. There is a lot of boot space in here, 560 litres to be exact, which is 20 litres more than the X1. As you can see, it's quite deep, and you can remove this flap to get more space. Now, this car comes with a 40-20-40 split for the rear seats. What that means is that if you bought something from, say, IKEA that's longer than your boot can fit, you can just drop the center seat and fit this long thing through, while still allowing at least 2 passengers in the rear. The rear cabin is really spacious, and even with this seat pulled back the way I like to drive, there's still quite a bit of space. The seats also has cushions where your back and butt rests, which makes the seats very comfortable. There are 2 aircon vents, but with only one strength control like the X1. So if you have more than one passenger in this rear cabin, they will need to agree on how strong they want the aircon to be. And because this is a petrol vehicle, a transmission tunnel is unavoidable. The front is identical to the X1 and the iX1 which I reviewed earlier, so without sounding like a broken record, let me summarize this for you. The interior is very spacious and the design is as premium as you'd expect from BMW. You get sport seats which are comfortable, and you also get this extendable seat thing adjustable to different lengths. The center storage is minimal because the rest of the space is in the open below it. Easier access, I guess. You get a wide center aircon vent for the driver and 2 semi-wide ones for the shotgun passenger. The infotainment system features the same iDrive system, which is really intuitive and simple. All your climate controls are touch controlled, which you can access by tapping the fan button below. You can also adjust the color of the interior lighting here. There is also wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. One thing I love about BMW is that their standard sound system sounds great. Similar to other BMW models, I find that the sound has a mid-range bias, so even though you only get 2 EQ sliders, treble and bass, I found that by increasing the treble, I got a perfectly decent and enjoyable sound experience with nothing to complain about. Even when I increased the bass, which is not necessary for a natural sound, it didn't sound artificial or boomy, which is a testament to the sound engineers who tuned these speakers. Other than that, this is your standard premium BMW cockpit, which is both spacious and comfortable. Everything is designed to look premium and futuristic, and the only complaint I can think of is the lack of a sunroof. There are 3 drive modes: Efficient, Personal and Sport, all of which can be accessed with this button right here and tapping on your preferred drive mode. Efficient is meant to save as much petrol as possible, so naturally you're not going to find much speed here. So I think you should only select Efficient if you are patient and have no urgency. Personal is not substantially different from Efficient, although the extra kick in power is noticeable, so it can be useful in situations where you need just that little extra power. Sport mode unleashes all the power that the X2 has, allowing you to navigate the highways at ease. Now this is the M Sport variant, which means it has M suspension, allowing you to have a smoother drive even at high speeds. Now since Sport mode would probably drain your petrol much faster than the other 2 modes, that's where this boost pedal comes in. How this works is, when you're on any drive mode other than Sport mode, you just gotta press and hold the boost pedal for about 1 second, and the car will go into Sport mode for 10 seconds, allowing you to overtake or change lanes quickly within that time. One thing I've noticed about the accelerator pedal is that it works better when you step on it a little rather than stepping all the way in. Because when you do that, there will be a very noticeable delay, and you'll be wondering why does it take so slow to even begin increasing its speed. But once you put the pedal to the metal and you feel the engine engage, driving becomes a blast. You get the standard suite of safety features, and one thing I love about BMW is the way they handle their safety features. You not only get to enable or disable every single one of them, you also get to adjust the sensitivity for each of them. I think this should come as standard for every vehicle, and BMW definitely understands that. One feedback I have is that the rear window is really very small. From my rearview mirror, I actually see more of the interior than the outside. I guess this is a trade-off from the improved aerodynamics thanks to the sloped roofline. Overall, I think the X2 drives just like a BMW should. It's fast but not aggressive, and it drives smoothly and comfortably, even more so thanks to the M suspension. BMW promotes the X2 as a balance between comfort, performance, and versatility. And to that, I think it holds true to every word, making the BMW X2 M Sport a joy to drive. With the X2 being virtually identical to the X1 apart from their aesthetics and boot space, they're both practically the same car. The driving experience would also be similar, with the X2 being slightly better due to the improved aerodynamics. The drive is also comfortable and efficient, yet also powerful enough when you need it to be. It is also very smooth thanks to the M suspension, which not only benefits the driver, but for every passenger as well. I think it is a great choice for families, or for people who need to ferry people often, or for people who need to carry a lot of stuff. It's a very versatile vehicle in more ways than one.
At the time of this video, the X1 costs about 257k and the X2 is about 265k.
And if you choose the X2 over the X1, you would be shelling out 8k more for a sportier and more aerodynamic exterior design, 20 litres of increased boot space, and an arguably better drive due to the increased aerodynamics. And if you're cool with all that, you can safely include the BMW X2 M Sport in your shortlist of considerations. And that's it for my impressions of the BMW X2 M Sport. If you feel there's something I should have talked about, or if there's anything you would like to see more of, please let me know in the comments below. And lastly, do leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again on the next one.